Today, we're talking about 5 players you should be trading for right now in your Dynasty leagues. These are guys that I think are undervalued, overlooked, or their value I think is about to rise dramatically. And if you can buy in right now, you'll thank yourself later. So let's get right into it.
Hey.
First guy that we're going to be talking about is a controversial name in the Dynasty community. It's Jaden Reed for the Green Bay Packers. And yes, I understand they drafted Matthew Golden in the first round, and he already has inconsistent usage anyways. So why would that get any better in 2025? Well, I think there's a few answers to that question. The first thing, Jaden Reed has had an uptick in receptions, targets, and receiving yards compared to his rookie outing. This is his 3rd season with the Packers, and I think those numbers are just going to keep going up and up. And he's so amazing with the ball in his hands. That's why he had 2.63 fantasy points per touch, which was first among all wide receivers. That's why he was a 2nd-round pick, guys. When he gets the ball in his hands, he's got amazing yak ability. He's just an overall playmaker. He'll make you miss with elusiveness. He'll shake off tackles, and he's got deep speed. Absolutely great deep speed. He will run past everybody when he needs to, and he gets used on these end around screen plays, things like that. He is their gadget weapon, and in my opinion, he's their most consistent option. Over the past 2 seasons, he has been the most consistent option for Jordan Love in terms of how many receiving yards he's gotten, and he gets points. He puts scores up on the board, and he puts fantasy points up on the board for us as well. Yes, he has 5 drops, which was more than what he needed to have last year. That was 6th in the entire NFL in drops. So he does have some inconsistent hands, but guys, I have him 6 spots above Keep Trade Cut in my rankings, and I think he's primed for a breakout season. I think he can be a wide receiver 2 even, where he can finish as a wide receiver 15 to 20. I think that's a realistic outcome for Jaden Reed. We just need to see the usage become more consistent, and if he can do that, I think this kid has a ton of potential. The next guy that we're going to be talking about here is Brenton Strange, the tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And guys, I love what this kid has shown at training camp. I liked what he did in the preseason as well throughout the first 2 games. And if you look at the 2024 stats, nothing crazy. He did appear in all 17 games, but he only started about 10 of them. And you see 40 receptions, 411 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's with a down year from the Jaguars, where Trevor Lawrence was hurt the majority of the season. I think this kid is a fantastic athlete, hence why he was a 2nd-round pick back in 2023. And guys, you see how much higher I am on him than Keep Trade Cut. I think Keep Trade Cut likes him a good bit as well, but I have him 3 spots higher than them, and I think he could absolutely blow up as well if he has a solid showing in this new Liam Cohen offense. We've seen what Liam Cohen has done with Cade Otton in the past. He's been very fantasy relevant, and I know the offense is crowded with Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., but we've seen Trevor Lawrence really like to hone in on his tight ends like Evan Ingram in the past. And I think they're not exact matches in terms of Evan Ingram to Brenton Strange, but I think Brenton Strange is a fantastic athlete, especially at his size, 6'4", 253 pounds. This is a bit of a gamble because we have no idea how good Strange is since we only have limited tape on him, and we don't know how much he's going to be prioritized in this new offense. But I think if he can showcase what he's shown in the past, and Liam Cohen can make him somewhat of a role player in this offense, I think Brenton Strange could end as a top 10 fantasy tight end for us this season. But it all comes down to, is Trevor Lawrence going to be good? Is this offense going to show out? I think it will, and I think the Jaguars will have a big renaissance this year with the offense. That's why Brenton Strange is on this list. Next up is a guy that I am much higher on than consensus, and that's DJ Moore for the Chicago Bears, the former first-round pick out of Maryland in 2018, and he's had a stellar career. He's been very fantasy relevant in the past with the Bears with Justin Fields. He had a top 10 finish with Justin Fields. He's a little bit older now at 28 years old, and I think that's the main knock on him. But guys, The offense in 2024 with the Chicago Bears was piss poor. Caleb Williams was trying to figure himself out. They had some of the worst play calling in the entire NFL as well last year. And you look at the stat line. This is a down year for DJ Moore, but 98 receptions, 966 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns. He was still a reliable wide receiver 2 in a very poor situation. Yes, I know the offense is crowded with Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet, Rome Odunze, Luther Burden. They have a ton of guys, a ton of talent in this offense, but I think DJ Moore is still the main option because his skill set is amazing, especially for fantasy. He's got amazing yak ability. He can turn a screen into 40 yards if he needs to. And he's got one of the most creative minds in all of football right now in Ben Johnson as his head coach. And we've seen what Ben Johnson has done in the past with guys with DJ Moore's skill set. Look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. He basically spammed targets to him in the short to intermediate areas of the field, and he's got back-to-back wide receiver 3 finishes. Guys, DJ Moore, in my opinion, I think he's going to be utilized similarly to how Amon-Ra St. Brown was utilized in Detroit. And that's a big uptick in production for DJ Moore, and he's never really had that throughout his career. And I think that's how you utilize DJ Moore to his best. Now, he separates vertically downfield if needed as well on the 9 routes on the deep post. We've seen him get multiple touchdowns last season because of those deep throws from Caleb Williams. His main knock, like I said, 28 years old, and there's a big question mark on whether Caleb Williams is going to be good or not, whether this offense, they are the Chicago Bears after all, are they going to be able to figure it out? Because they haven't in a very long time. My answer to that question is yes, absolutely. I think Caleb Williams is going to have a top 10 quarterback finish in terms of fantasy this year, and I think everybody in this offense, outside of Cole Kmet maybe, are going to be fantasy relevant this season. So pick up DJ Moore. If you have to give up a late first for him, I think that's great value for a guy that could be a low-end wide receiver 1 this coming year. So we have Trey Benson up next for the Arizona Cardinals, and I love this guy's skill set. I mean, he has a ton of explosiveness, a bunch of really high-end tools as well, and he was picked in the 3rd round, one of the earliest running backs taken in the 2024 class, and I think he could have been the first running back taken if he didn't have the extensive injury history. That's the main thing that kind of hurt his draft stock coming into the 2024 draft, and he didn't get to play a whole lot either last year. He only had 63 attempts, less than 300 rushing yards, and a singular touchdown. And why is that? Because James Conner magically decided to be healthy an entire season for like the first time ever in his NFL career. He usually always misses 4+ games. Not this season. Trey Benson is going to have to wait until this season to really have an uptick in carries. And the coach has already said it. Kyler Murray has already said it as well. They have a 1A, 1B type of running back room right now. Trey Benson, I expect to have over 140, 150 carries this year easily. And he also, in my opinion, is a better pass catching back than James Conner. And I think he will be on the field in 3rd and long downs. He will be the 3rd down back, in my opinion, even though his pass pro isn't anything crazy. Now, at 6'2", 220, he's got great size. He's a very strong physical runner. He can push the pile in the red zone, and I think he will be utilized more in the red zone than he was last year. And he's an explosive runner. He ran a 4.39 40, I believe, at the combine. He's got some serious long speed, especially at that size. That's an insane 40 time to be 6'2", 220. But the main problem with him, will he stay healthy? He suffered an ankle injury towards the end of the season last year. He seems to be fully healthy right now, but he had a ton of injury concerns at Florida State. So will he be able to hold his body together and put together some good seasons for us from the fantasy football perspective? That's the biggest question mark with Trey Benson. And obviously James Conner is still there, at least for the next year or two. So that's going to put a limit to how many carries he's going to have every single year unless James Conner gets hurt, which is a very big likelihood of happening. So Trey Benson, I've seen a lot of people move off from him. They're using him as kind of like a throw-in a lot of these trades. I think you can get him for a second round pick if you want to. So Trey Benson, definitely somebody that I think you should be picking up. This isn't a very popular take, guys, but Travis Etienne, I think, has one of the best values at the running back position right now in Dynasty because of what he's done in the past, and people are kind of lacking context with why he played so poorly last year. First, I need to talk about the play calling. It was atrocious last year for the Jaguars. He played hurt pretty much the entire season. That was another big issue. And you see he only played in 15 games, 150 attempts, 558 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. He still almost had 40 receptions to 250 receiving yards, but this offense was very poor, and Travis Etienne suffered because of that. Now, I think he's fully healthy. I saw him in the preseason a good bit. He looked really good in the limited opportunities that he had. And yes, this new regime under Liam Cohen does not have any ties with Travis Etienne. They did not pick him in the first round back in 2021, obviously. But I think they recognize the talent that they have with Travis Etienne because he's still playing with the ones, with the first team in preseason. And I think that's a big tell. And I still think he's their best pass-catching running back. I know Bashal Tutin's getting a lot of hype right now just because he's super fast. He can basically make a touchdown from anywhere, but he has a ton of ball security issues. He has some vision inconsistencies as well. And Tank Bigsby, I think, is just the short yardage back in this backfield, and he offers very little in the pass-catching game, in my opinion. Now, that's the biggest upside with Travis Etienne is his great pass catching upside. I think he can catch a ton of balls this year. You saw what he did, Liam Cohen, with the Buccaneers last year. I think this offense is taking a big uptick in terms of production, which means more touchdowns, more scoring, and I think more scoring opportunities for Travis Etienne. You see I'm a little bit higher than Keep Trade Cut. He was my RB30 compared to Keep Trade Cut's RB36, and I think you can get him for a second round pick right now. That is insane for a guy who's put up RB1 numbers in the past. Yes, his efficiency has dipped every single year since he's been in the league, but I think, like I said, the offense has taken a hit each and every year, and I think the offense has gotten worse each and every year. I think it changes with Liam Cohen as the head coach, and I think Travis Etienne is in store for a solid RB2 finish this year. Those are my top 5 trade targets in Dynasty right now. If you can land even 1 or 2 of these guys, you'll set yourself up for a big edge going forward. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more Dynasty content. And don't forget to join the Bobby's Big Board Discord if you want to talk Dynasty all season long. The link is in the description as always. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Hey.